Hello, Ivan here with Vine Skills, and in this video we're going to cover Leads AI. This is a new feature that came out a few months ago in Lead Docket, and it allows you to use a really powerful AI tool behind Lead Docket for a couple of different things. The first thing that I want to point out, as you can see on my screen here, is the summarization, right? Or AI summarization is what it's called. Um, I think this is one of the most powerful parts of this tool, but I'll show you a couple of different ways to use it. I think we've seen clients really happy with using this type of summarization. So the way this works is it adds a field at the top of your lead, right? So if I open the lead in here, and at the top of the lead is going to add this summary field. I can control it over the case, over the custom fields. I'll show you that in a minute how to set this up, but I want to show you first what it looks like in the front end. This field does a really good job at summarizing all the information that is put under the lead, right? So you may have this long questionnaire with several things like all the details on the accident and what happened in this, all this kind of 100 questions that you're used to. And Lead Docket does a really good job to summarize it in a small paragraph. As you can see it here, it mentions the insurance, the policy limits that it has it in there. There's not a physical injury, so it kind of captures everything below. Now, there are several prompts behind this. This one is the MVA prompt, but there are other prompts already engineered to be very specific for case types. So I'll show you them in a minute. This is one type. It's called the lead summary. But there are also a couple of other things that I think are pretty useful in here. So one is the message summaries, as you can see it in here. You have also note summary. Note summary is one of my favorite ones. And what it does here, it goes down through sometimes, a real lead, you may have dozens of notes left throughout the life of the lead, and you can come in here and quickly visualize the summary of what happens. This one, it did a little bit of a timeline for me, and it kind of has some notes around what happens in here. One of the things that I really like is that it may spot reactions, not just on the notes but on the messages as well. So I'm gonna hit generate. This one is a test lead, so it's not gonna have a lot of like messages back and forth. But one of the things that I really like about this is that it would flag certain sentiment analysis, right? So if the client responds to you sort of angry and with a different tone, this is going to capture here and it's going to mention it to you. So I think it's a really nice way to catch those scenarios that the client might be angry with you. The second aspect, so these are the summary boxes on the Lead AI. These are super helpful. We've seen it used in different ways. So one common use is, when you push this case to FileVine, you want to give the attorney a heads up, hey, we just signed this case. Instead of giving them a long list of 50 questions for them to understand, we can push this summary into certain fields. We can notify them. We've done several different things to kind of get this little blurb in front of the attorney, so it's a very easy way for them to take a look at what's happening and understand that case they just got. This is one use. We've seen it sent to referrals, so the referral partner can have a quick look at it and they understand what the case is about. Very, very useful there as well. The second part of the Leads AI that I should mention is what's called a fee prediction system. So I should point out that also there is a really interesting article here on Leads AI. So this is in the Lead Docket training resources. It kind of summarizes a little bit of what I'm telling you with a few more details on how to set this up as well. And the fee prediction is the second part of this. The fee prediction analysis is called this predictive analysis. It's really interesting. I don't have it turned on my system right now to show you. It would actually pop up right here. I actually have a screenshot. It will pop up right at the top of your lead with the fee prediction that you have right here, right? So this is actually from a real Lead Docket that one of our clients, and we can have a quick overview to say highly likely, unlikely, or more information needed. You would also see the same kind of box on your intake dashboard, and I'll show you, like here, instead of these stars that you have the severity level, you will see something like this. Again, I cleared so there's no personal information in here, but this is a real Lead Docket that you'll be looking at. You will see here the fee predictions around it. This is, from our perspective, extremely accurate, right? Again, it's case type specific, but it does a really, really good job at predicting the fee, the likelihood of this case turning into a profitable case, or a fee. You're getting a fee in there. It's a really precise thing. I can get the records, and you can ask a lead docket sales. They know. I think it's very, very precise, like upwards of 90 something percent precision here, or accuracy. So I really like it. It also allows you to run reports and make sure that you catch things. Like, one of the things that we've seen used is when you lost a lead, or when you reject a lead that says highly likely, it's worth looking into that, right? What happened in that lead? So I'm going to create probably a separate video on how to set this up. I'll show you very briefly over here, but in your custom fields, it can be quite a process to set this up if you need to customize different things, and if you have multiple case types. You basically add this as a custom field. So at the top of my custom fields, I will see AI summary. You may not see this because you may not have this turned on. When you turn on this feature, you'll get this AI summary box right here. And it's gonna ask me a few things, right? I can ask what it is, but I can choose the prompt. First I choose the type. In this case, I'm gonna use a lead summary. And it's gonna ask me which prompt do you wanna use, right? I've seen this work really well on these other prompts, and you also have a lead summary that is kind of a catch-all that will summarize other case types as well. So you can select the trigger, the case types that you want to read, to have this available on as well. So this is a kind of a quick overview of how to set this up. But I'll probably get a separate video on that, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out as well. But this gives you a overview of Leads AI and possible uses of that new feature in Lead Docket. I hope this helps.